right. Good morning. Welcome to the Saturday special. This is the Associated Guest. I am always as your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. Today, we're going to talk about, because I'm tired of the Sydney Sweeney situation. That shouldn't be a situation. I'm tired of defending people who I don't care for. But we'll get into that. The Kill Bill trailer dropped. Yes, they're dropping the 4-hour unedited, well, director's cut, basically. Nancy Pelosi is out, and Bernie Sanders apparently humiliated himself on camera. What happened to Bernie? Former Bernie bro. Just, we'll get into it. And then we might get into a bunch of Gen Z people celebrating Zohar Mamdani for some reason. And then maybe some X-tinction level tweets. But in the meantime, let's get started with this Sydney Sweeney stuff, and I'll comment as we go.
Since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when
Thanks for the opportunity.
I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Now it's not enough that you didn't condemn people on social media who supported the ad who may have at some point been racist. You understand, right? It will.
Yeah, by the way, this is Gentleman's Quarterly. A men's magazine. I understand that she looks like Jack Quaid going through a certain thing. But, my God, why is this an interview with Gentleman's Quarterly?
Will never be enough. Apologize to these people. Never. God got this right, according to Lane.
Okay.
Sydney Sweeney. He believes that God has created no finer woman.
Yeah.
And I think she's cute. But let's set this up. Celebrity pandering.
First of all, she's not my type. Okay, that's just it. She's not my type at all. She's one of these modern, mostly white women who have the dead eyes. There's nothing going on behind the eyes. She might be a very deep individual. I don't know. But as far as I can see, she's just a hot, big-breasted, and they keep saying blonde. She's not blonde. She's a brunette. She very clearly bleaches her hair, like most white women do. But yeah, she's just kind of attractive with big titties. That's it. I've got nothing wrong with her, other than the fact that I didn't really care for the Euphoria show. I thought it was kind of like the modern-day Kids, that really horrible movie from the 90s. Which was just an excuse to show underage people doing all kinds of horrible things that we really shouldn't be having a show about. But
And this is why this is so refreshing.
Yeah, she's like a Special Olympics 10.
Is that a compliment? Is that a good?
It's the dead eyes. I told you, she's got the dead eyes. She doesn't look like anything is going on behind there. Oh, I want to pull up the preview for her new movie, as a matter of fact, because I know she's a boxer, I guess.
Is it a bad?
You take it how you want.
I don't know. I mean, there could be some special needs people who are really good looking. I haven't.
Sydney Sweeney.
You can comment if that's a good thing. If it's
I don't know.
I'll give her. You know what?
You're first to the gulag in
Yeah,
my
I think
country, Josh.
No, he was complimenting her. I think it was a compliment. I am saying that she's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
because
Christy,
there
that's
was
what
the
it's called.
jeans ad, and now people are trying to corner her on it, and she's responding superbly. And I have a few theories as to why I think she is more right-leaning than people may even realize. And by the way, I appreciate that she doesn't want to talk about politics. If a celebrity wants to avoid discussing politics, and if a celebrity generally communicates something to the effect of, I don't really think it's our job to tell people what to think, they're almost invariably conservative, because it can only help your career in Hollywood to be outspokenly left.
Which again, I am not. I'm not a conservative. I am still of the left. Not too far as a lot of things go, but I do agree with a lot of policy. I just know that they can't do it the way that they say. They're just lying, and they're using the beliefs of people who are on the left to fuck this country up very hardcore. Like they've been going around New York since Zohar Mamdani got elected, talking to small business owners, and they're just like, yeah, we're fucked.
If someone is reserved, it means they have to hide something in that industry. So she's a very stark contrast to the celebrity pandering, which has actually gotten worse in recent memory. It's a staple of modern culture, especially from ladies.
There are times when it feels a bit impossible, doesn't it? to exist in a world where it feels like we can't be louder than a whisper with.
That world hasn't existed for a very long time. Look, in some places, sure, maybe, but not where people like this are from. These people only know where you come from through what they see on TV, which is written by more people like themselves. That's the only way that they know what the poors live like, what we live like.
Without it making headlines.
You have a
There's
microphone.
something beautiful and terrifying about how much the world seems to care about our opinions,
And you love it.
while simultaneously telling us to stick to our arts.
No,
our
we don't care
creativity.
about your opinions.
No, they tell you to stick to your arts because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You are a prop. You are just a prop by people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And the only people who think that your opinions are interesting are the few people who think that you're hot, the people who think that you're hot because you're in movies, and then people who are just as stupid, if not dumber than you are, who think that you actually said something anytime you speak.
The movies
We
that,
never
you
have.
know, I'm so well known for, they were very much of a time, you know, and if you were to remake that now, I think it would have to be much more diverse.
Those times were awesome.
And it would have to be.
They were fast
you
times.
know, you
At Ridgemont.
couldn't make a movie that white.
Look, I completely understand this argument from a modern day perspective, but movies were made by a very small percentage of people. And at the time, there weren't that many non-white actors. There were some black actors. I think there was maybe a couple of Hispanic actors, and that was mostly just like Cheech and a couple other people who were mostly comedic actors. This is before they tried to do anything even remotely seriously. This is a product of the time, and most people put people in movies who they know. At the time, the Brat Pack was very popular. That's just how the 80s are. And anyone else who was famous, there were no young, famous, any minority that I can think of actors in the 70s, in the 80s. Could they have made someone famous? Sure. But again, this is your people, the actors, the coastal elites that made these movies. You act like we made these movies and we don't want them to change. Everyone likes the movies from their generation. Stop apologizing for things that you were in. It makes you sound very cringe. It literally has anyone heard from Molly Ringwald ever when she's not complaining about the movies that she starred in that helped make people know what the fuck her name is? Otherwise, she'd just be known as that reasonably attractive redhead with a little too much gum to tooth ratio.
Radikowski and it's election.
Okay, that's just rude. I'm sorry.
They're open till 9 p.m.
I know.
Trump
Look, I know that they're on Rumble and they don't edit that out for YouTube a lot of the time. And I know that they're not supposed to accommodate people like me who comment on the things that they do, but I really wish they would edit it out for YouTube.
Is using military forces to stop a protest. And I want y'all to consider what kind of government it appears to be when every time we exercise our democratic right to protest, the military is deployed against us.
It's not when you do your democratic right to protest. It's when the white people who claim to care about you and your causes go and start fucking shit up on behalf of you. And because they're part of your protest, they say it very much looks like it's a part of you. And because a lot of people do not condemn or even acknowledge that these things are happening is the main reason why people don't conflate the two. That's just a fact. But to sit there and say that they're only deploying it because of your right to protest and trying to trump on your right to protest, that's just disingenuous. You either don't know what's going on or you're purposefully covering up the situation as it is on the street. There really is no other. Or you're just a dumb fuck who read a headline instead of reading a whole story or watching a video or watched a clip instead of watching a whole video.
As an art, always been opinionated? Has it always held perspective, experience?
No, interpretation of art has been opinionated. And, art itself is sure. But this is capitalist art. You are in very much capitalist art. If you want to go out there and express your opinion, go work for an indie fucking studio. The big studios should be trying to be the most broad mass appeal. And that's just how it is. They're there to make money. They're there to make something that's safe enough so that broad audience will want to come and see them. That's it.
Wasn't it always
but you're an
meant
actor,
to
not an
be
artist.
this way, to shift the worldview?
That is also true. She's a singer and she's an actress, but she's not an artist. She doesn't write anything herself. She doesn't add her own little inflections and tones. She does as she's directed.
Now, those movies are really.
See, look at
really
that. And especially since she's
white.
had the plastic surgery. You're very
And they
white.
don't
Look
really
at this.
Represent.
If not for the design on her dress, I would think that she just had really bad skin and was naked.
What it is to be a teenager in a school in America today, I don't think.
Yeah. Couldn't make those movies the way they used to. And Hollywood, by the way, is listening, as seen by the new remake of Say Anything.
Lick you from your head to your toes, and I wanna move from the bed down to the floor, and I wanna.
I was just pausing it so I don't get copyright.
You make it so good, I don't wanna leave, but I gotta know what's your hands.
Also, that includes a gang initiation.
You know what's that? That song is 25 years old. I'm pretty sure.
Runs over a kid.
Molly Ringwald's talking about, this should have been more diverse. Do you not realize that your role is the one that is the black lesbian?
Pretty much. Yeah. You're the one who gets replaced.
You're the one who gets replaced.
Yeah.
You have no career if that's how it goes
very
down.
quickly, because you existed as an actress pre-Invisalign. Mm-hmm. So it's time for Entertainment Minute. And as always, the references are available in the description. Look, I want you to just try and notice a pattern here, because we're going to show you a few clips. Notice the similarities between the interviewers. And I'm going to ask Toolman to pause it really quickly on the outset. But this is an interview with GQ where they immediately tried to press Sydney Sweeney. Of course, they have to, on politics.
You have become very swept up in politics.
That lady is interviewing Sydney Sweeney for Gentleman's Quarterly.
Yeah. And she looks like Jack Quaid. I can share your stream in a Kik community to help you hit 1,500, 700 viewers. That would be awesome. I appreciate it if I hadn't seen the exact same carbon copy thing posted on every stream that I've done. I very much appreciate it, and if you're legitimate, I apologize for my crassness, but thank you for the engagement.
Yes, a gentleman always likes a lady with her shoulders shrugged and her underbite
That's
prominent.
right. I like her a bowl cut wearing the felt on the bottom of my humidor.
I don't know what that
Do you
means.
like how her head is crooked?
Yes.
Just like a man asked.
Do you like how she's plain with nothing to highlight her sexually attractive features? Now, let's play this.
I don't know what that means
Remember,
either.
Gentleman's Quarterly, and you wonder why no one is subscribing to these magazines anymore.
And so I wondered if that has surprised you as you put your ideas and yourself into art, not commentary.
Being a model and being in a commercial where you're just directed to doing your thing is not putting yourself into art.
I've always believed that I'm not here to tell people what to think. I'm just here to kind of open their eyes to different ideas. And so I think that's why I gravitate towards characters and stories that are complicated and are maybe morally questionable, and characters that are on the page hard to like, but then you find the humanity underneath them. And
That's a surprisingly poignant answer for what I would expect from her. So kudos to her on that.
that's what I've always leaned towards.
I think a lot of people feel like it's better for art if artists can keep themselves a little bit separate from politics.
Yeah, I've never.
So she's going to press her straight against politics right after this, I'm guessing, because why not?
I talked about my personal life.
I know.
Yeah, I think it's better, right, if you kind of don't have to talk about it. But in my very next question, I'm going to ask you to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the clip.
Kudos to you
We're
for
sort of
saying the same
talking
thing that I was
around
going to say.
this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So,
No, you're not talking around it. You're wanting to talk about it, and you're very hard leaning into it. And she's sitting here like, oh God, it's coming. Which I realize that I paused it on her eyes being closed and what that insinuates, and I apologize.
so were you surprised by the reaction?
No shit.
I
No.
did a Gene ad.
Exactly. No shit. She did a Gene ad. This drives me crazy because she's nowhere near the kind of person who I would want to stick up for because she really doesn't need it if this was a regular conversation. But people today are so retarded. And I know I say that a lot, but if you are that upset, then, I mean, fuck off. What, do you know someone?
I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but
They're saying that she's a Nazi because her initials are SS. The name that she was born with, right? Her birth name is Sydney Sweeney. Was Sydney Sweeney born with that name? Okay, first of all, AI, when I say is Sydney Sweeney, was she born with that name? Don't say no and then say her birth name was Sydney Sweeney. Fuck off. Or tell me what her middle name is. Unless the two things that I said were wrong, don't add to it. Only say something if they were taken away.
it was, I love jeans.
I'm going to ask
Yes.
anyway. I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or Truth Socialed about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me
She's laughing like she's her best friend,
like
but she's
a
acting
very
like the
crazy
little bitch with the
moment
glasses from
for
Welcome to Derry.
anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal. Mm-hmm. And it would
Not as surreal as everyone insinuating that she's a Nazi because she did a Gene ad with a cringy joke. It was funny, but it was cringy. Come on, let's be honest.
be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public.
She's wanting to say that she's a Trump supporter. That's what she wants to say. That's what this very chiseled jaw woman wants her to say.
You know, and conveniently, some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
I don't think that it's not that that feeling didn't. I didn't have that feeling. I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it.
And just want to take a moment here. First off, she's a very bad interviewer, and she's
Yes.
particularly a bad interviewer.
Yes, she is. One, she doesn't have a set questions here, and she has no idea how to make it into this line of questioning without making it horribly fucking awkward. And before you say it, could I do it? Probably not, which is why I don't do it for my fucking profession. And even if I did, she should be a YouTuber and have that be her thing, other than working for Gentleman's Quarterly, the longest standing cringe magazine in existence, other than Vogue and Teen Vogue.
Quarterly.
Igor?
Yeah. But
That was a character from Minecraft.
here's the other thing: is this shows the difference between misinformed.
Yeah, she looks like that's what she looks like. She looks like Igor from a gender swap version of any Frankenstein thing. Or sorry, Igor.
Now, just to be fair, Sydney Sweeney is not answering in any way that's particularly impressive.
No.
And that, in and of itself, is impressive. She's answering like
Fair.
a young woman would, an average young woman of average, maybe slightly above average intelligence. She's answering like a girl. There's nothing political there. You would never, in any
when he
other
says
era,
girl,
say,
he means like a
wow,
girly
she's
girl.
really sharp. She's a genius. She just seems like she's being friendly. She's being polite.
She seems annoyed.
Well, yeah, but the point
I
is,
mean,
like,
understandable.
She's
They're calling her a
member
Nazi.
of Mensa, but the lady interviewing her is not uninformed. She is misinformed. So
and let's be clear. This is more on the Sydney Sweeney has great genes ad. The one that's talking about both American Eagle jeans, I think it was, American Eagle jeans, and the fact that she's considered hot. The big titties. Let's be honest. People are saying blonde. She's not blonde. Everyone out there, especially the white ladies, complaining that there's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, or whatever color-eyed white lady on this ad. She's not blonde. She very clearly bleaches her hair, but let's continue.
Being an average girly girl in 2025, you come across as smarter than the feminist because
this
they
is true.
actually
This is a
believe
fact.
mistruths, and they'll try and force you to. Isn't that just surreal? Like, I just wonder what you think about that ad and like the controversy. And that sounds dumber than I like jeans. That shows you how far they've gone. And then Stoffel, the interviewer for
she's a half step. She's in the same field as Cam Patterson. He likes rocks. She likes jeans.
Gentleman's Quarterly had to keep pushing because even though she thinks that it's better if celebrities can sort of stay out of politics, she really, really, really wanted to drag.
Yeah, she
Sweeney
wants to get her into politics, even though she said it's better when celebrities stay out of politics.
Itself, the Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Do you want to apologize for people misinterpreting a fucking ad?
You think the ad spoke for itself? Okay, and the criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like,
it never said anything about genetics superiority. That was a misinterpretation by dipshit retards like this bitch and TikTokers, people with TikTok brain, complaining that someone who was very clearly, and who knows? Maybe they're right. Maybe she is a white supremacist. Maybe she hates anyone who doesn't look like her. Maybe she hates all these other things. She hasn't done anything to profess that. If it ever comes out, any actual evidence comes out that this woman is a white supremacist, I'll be the first one to get on here. I'm not going to apologize because fuck you. I have no reason to apologize. But I will get on here and be like, that bitch is a white supremacist. She should be condemned. But she's not. She hasn't done any of those things. She was in a fucking jean commercial for American Eagle, which someone said, oh, that's enough right there to show that it's fascist. America is not as fastest nation. We're just not. We keep leaning a little bit further towards that, and that's during basically every president, except for Trump, ironically, giving the executive branch more power. I'm pretty sure Trump is the only president that hasn't expanded that power. He's pushed it to its limits, but he hasn't had any legislation passed to expand his own power. He's pushed his own things to the limits. He's pushed it past the limits a couple of times, and he's been checked on it, and he complied. The Abrego Garcia thing, we wasted a lot of money shipping him back and shipping him back out. But to assume that this person is a white supremacist because she was in a commercial where she was just supposed to be hot and wearing their products, and she's called a white supremacist for it because people are saying, oh, that's eugenics. Abortion's eugenics. Abortion's more eugenics than this fucking gene commercial, for God's sake. How do I know? Because the founder of Planned Parenthood was not only a vicious racist, but she was very much into eugenics because she is from the motherland. Fuck out of here.
That was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about.
Not talking about this. Waiting for you to finish the fucking question that you brought up. This is classic retard face. Hold on. I'm actually gonna take a picture of this and I'm gonna use this for. Oh, my phone's fully charged. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I had to do that. It will come in handy later.
About that specifically?
I think that when
Thanks for the opportunity.
I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Yeah. Stop being a nosy bitch.
Yeah,
that's what she's saying.
That's a polite way of saying.
Stop trying to ease her into a gotcha. One, you're not good at this. You're about as good at it as that lady. Actually, you're not even as good at it as that lady who tried to get Jordan Peterson back before he was crazy.
Hey, why don't you shut the hell up and let's get this over with? Did you notice, by the way, the entire time, I didn't watch the whole interview, but every single clip we have here, the entire time, Sydney Sweeney is looking right at her. Yeah. Right under the eyes.
Right.
The whole time. And the whole time she's asking her uncomfortable, unwanted questions, she's looking away, she's looking down, she's looking over. And when she looks at Sydney, she goes, like, do you want to talk about that specifically? Like, do you want to apologize? Like, do you want to tell her?
There's no reason, and I'm sick to death. I thought we were done talking about this weeks ago when the commercial actually came out. I'm pretty sure that was the week before Charlie Kirk died. It's been over 6 weeks, a month, 2 months, something. But the fact that we're still talking about this, people keep bringing it up. Every time this poor girl, and who knows, she may be a vicious bitch and all the things that people say about her, but she's done nothing to project that in the public space. Not that I've seen. If it is, send it to me on X.
Everybody that you made a mistake and that you're bad.
Right. And here's the other thing too that she did. You know, she said white people shouldn't, joke about genetic superiority. This is why you don't apologize.
It wasn't joking. It literally, like, the person who wrote that joke may have been white, but it had nothing to do with superiority. It was literally just talking about her having good genes because she's hot. That's literally it. It's not that deep. But if you look for white supremacy everywhere, you pretty much see it everywhere. It's like you have those glasses on from that, that John Carpenter movie. What's the name of the John Carpenter movie where he wears the glasses that make him see who's an alien? Yeah, They Live. It's like you're wearing the glasses from They Live. That's a damn good
Sydney Sweeney
reference.
Has great
by
genes.
the way. Yeah.
There's no comparison to anyone else.
No.
It didn't say superior genes to a black person, to a brown person. It didn't say superior genes to this interviewer for Gentleman's Quarterly. In other words, now it used to be, hey, you can't compare.
And okay, I know I'm cutting them off mid-sentence a few times, but this is literally, most of these things are pushed forth by ugly white women. Let's just face it. That's all this is. And it's usually the ones who have different hair color, all the piercings, all the tattoos, and have really let themselves go. They've done really weird shit to themselves beyond that, beyond even the standard hair color, piercings, tattoos, the fat fuckery. They do this because they say healthy at any size. I should be able to get love at any size, which is true. But a lot of the time, especially when the weight comes to play, people can tell how much you take care of yourself by how much you take care of yourself. If you look like Lizzo back when she was still popular, people are going to tell that you don't really take care of yourself. And they're going to assume that's the aspect, that's what you take into every aspect of your life. Now, if you're just a little chubby, no one cares. Or if you're thick, people are actually coming after you in a good way. But if you're a big, fat, watery blub, if you look like you eat shields, like you've got so many folds, you look like you eat shields from The Legend of Zelda, that's just gross on any metric. But
makes someone feel less.
And I'm not saying, sorry, I was too busy making fat jokes. That doesn't mean you don't deserve love, but don't be surprised if you don't get it. You have to try to get things that you want. And a lot of us just settle for anyone who will have us. And we don't find people who share our values. We don't find anyone who shares our interests, senses of humor, or anything. We just literally, these days, just look for someone who won't kill us in our sleep, who will accept all the bullshit that you'll put them through, and you'll accept all the bullshit that they'll put you through. And that's what's considered a good relationship these days.
Less than other somebody or denigrate somebody. Now you can't pay a compliment to someone if they are white. The left heard Sydney Sweeney has superior genes to blacks and browns, and those will be kind of yellow. Like, that's what they heard.
The word superior wasn't even in the commercial.
No.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes. It would be like me saying, hey, you've got great hair. And someone going like, so what, that means that black people don't? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and I think that the fact that we kind of, I made a little joke earlier, saying I don't think she's that attractive, and you guys said, oh, she's very attractive. That right there, that whole argument of like, oh, she's hot, no, she's not.
I'm with you. I think she's pretty.
Well, you know what? I can say she has great genes, and I'm not saying she's better than anybody.
Exactly.
That's exactly what the whole commercial is. She has great genes. She's for some people.
Right?
So are these genes.
But the left is saying, well, first off, other people are saying, not me. The criticism by whom? Oh, people like you.
You.
They're saying that you shouldn't joke about, white person shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. No one made a joke about genetic superiority. No. She's hot, and so the ad goes, she's got great genes. You know who else can be hot? Plenty of people who are black, who are brown, and Lane knows, who are Asian. As a matter of fact, he's almost quite exclusive.
Here, I'll name a few hotties from other races. Selma Hayek, Lucy Liu. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but Maxine from Living Single. Tashina Arnold. Yeah. Some people would say the Maori twins. I don't see that. I've never had a crush on them. Because they're...
She really is the only one that's turned me from that.
No, but again, this is the difference between and misinformed. It's believing a lie. It requires the fundamental premise that a pretty white woman cannot receive a compliment, lest it be considered it must be racist. How about you can compliment anyone individually, and it's fine. It doesn't mean, and by the way, she definitely has superior genes to some people. Because she's better looking than some people.
Well, she definitely, I mean, there's a couple obvious things that she got from somewhere in her genetics.
Yes.
That you can't even argue. That's not even like an arguable thing. That part of her genetics is better than a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know exactly what you're
maybe not her
talking
saggy eyelids, but yeah.
Yeah, what were we saying there?
It's her boobs.
Yes.
Anyway.
They're great.
We're going to get into more of this discussion a little later, but as a blonde, white, any kind of white woman right now, and even Asian, white adjacent, I don't know how you can't, unless you're suicidal, support what the Democratic Party is moving for because they hate you too.
Yeah.
They are just useful right now. But you see, as soon as somebody switches up from the orthodoxy just a little bit, oh, well, you're perpetuating white supremacy and the patriarchy. They hate her just as much as they hate anybody else.
Well, and you know what? That's why overweight feminist bitches are the worst. Now, Tab, when we were driving in to change my mind, and like I get Japanese hornets in my stomach, and I kind of just joke, and I was like, "Uh-oh, hijab, you have my permission to strip search her, like to security." I'm like, "Oh, hey, look, that guy looks like he's in the Crips," and then I said, "Uh-oh, it's the big boss, the fat white bitch," and then it turned out here's why they're the worst, because they always have to speak for who they view as the marginalized. The LGBTQ, they're the ones with the Black Lives Matter sign, and they have to somehow lump themselves in as victims. But the truth is, they will be cannibalized by the feminist movement.
And that, in effect, does marginalize them.
Yep.
They're the ones doing the marginalizing by going, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. And like, oh, why are you doing that? You're the one saying.
Yeah.
You know what would have been funny is if Sydney Sweeney, after one of the questions, if she'd been like, well, I think you have great genes too.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
And she was like, I'm wearing chinos. I meant you're stupid.
You have a strong male chin.
Yes, you do. You have a very strong jawline.
These women are a lot lower on the victim hierarchy than they want to believe, and they will be eaten up at the very first. It's a couple of years away. Look at the squad. How many white women are in the squad?
I don't think there's any.
They're correct, and that's not.
Wait, does AOC count?
I was going to say, does AOC count? Was Bowman in the squad?
That's a black dude.
I know, but he's close. He's closer than the terrorist Rashida Tlaib. She has Ilhan Omar. She has a ticking pantsuit. I'm just saying he's the closest thing.
He was their gay best friend.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
George Santos was in the running.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
You know who else also, by the way, marginalized her, denigrated her? Her co-stars. So one of the ladies from the White Lotus, Amy Lou Wood, responded to the interview and notably to Sydney Sweeney's answers with a vomit emoji. Ah, there you go, the strength of the sisterhood. By the way, I thought her teeth were fake.
No, that's real.
When I saw that show, because she it would talk like this, I thought it was like a She's All That, where they were going to take off the prosthetic teeth, and then she'd be pretty later. But she literally talks like this. That's how it is, and that's why they put her in there. By the way, they make her eat blocks of cheese in the cheese.
No, they don't.
This is a great hotel.
A giant olive.
5-star, you say?
Well, you think about that. That girl's always, she put the repulsive emoji. Yeah. She's offended by everything.
Yeah, she is.
SNL kind of teased her, and she went off the rails.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't know She looks like that, like you wanted to be famous.
Yeah, it's your calling card.
Congratulations, your tits got you there.
Yes.
Now we have to look at your mouth.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm sorry, we have to talk about it.
My eyes are up here.
And that's not sexist, by the way. That Elaine told me earlier, if you search her name, that's the first thing that pops up.
Corner of the collar.
Not her teeth. Yeah.
Look at my eyes. It's okay to make fun of her because she's an awful person. Also, the celebrity photographer, Misan Harriman, I guess, whined, presuming that you are not a white supremacist, at least say how horrified you were by how this campaign was amplified and celebrated by unrepentant racists who believe in eugenics. You mean the Democrat Party? Quite literally. The National Socialists, the Nazis, believe in eugenics. The only form of eugenics that have been implemented here in the United States would be Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger, who was an avowed eugenicist, who specifically set up Planned Parenthood abortion clinics in impoverished urban areas because she wanted to exterminate more blacks.
Okay. Damn it, how long's my sound been off? Man, I was making some good points too. Anyway, continue.
You know this, right? She didn't hide from it. She believed in eugenics.
And guys, please, I'm not a professional by any means. If you hear that I've paused and you don't hear me talking, just say something. I'm sorry for the one or two people who stuck around. But just tell me if my mic's not picking up. If I'm pausing it like it is right now, then clearly I'm talking and it's not coming through. So just, help a brother out. Plus, it's great for engagement.
They would kill every single baby with Down syndrome in the womb today if they could.
Absolutely.
100%.
It's got to at least recognize the harm in it.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, what I was saying was, yes, the lady who set up Planned Parenthood was, in fact, a eugenicist. They're okay with that, but they're not okay with an American Eagle ad that just said that this girl's hot and she's also in genes, has good genes, and also has good genes.
The undertone of the campaign is that your genetics are superior to others. No, it's not. It's that she has good genes. It's a compliment. It's a compliment to her. It's not an insult to someone else. And that's the problem with the left. It's like when you were a kid.
And it's not just a problem on the left, but they're the ones who are on TikTok screaming about shit. Yeah, I know MAGA's on there too, but no one cares. They're on there. They listen to themselves. No one cares. And honestly, they're not freaking out about stuff that's not happening as much.
And your brother, someone had a birthday party, said they give you all party favors so people didn't feel left out. That's what the left is now. No one can receive a compliment for something unique to them without someone else taking it as a slight. A compliment does not automatically equal an insult to someone else. And if you apologize to these people, it's not enough. It's not enough that Sweeney has never said anything racist. It's not enough that she didn't say in the commercial did not say that she had superior genetics. None of that is enough. It's not
enough that she's banging black dudes on Euphoria.
Yeah, it's none of it is. I didn't even know that, but that's good for her. Now it's not enough that you didn't condemn people on social media who supported the ad who may have at some point been racist. You understand, right? It will never be enough. Apologize to these people. Never. Never. Appeasing crocodiles is futile. Here's a bonus. And I've talked about this. Mark Zuckerberg kind of went through this. Makes sense. When people do, or they take part in the combat arts, they tend to veer more conservative. Now, I don't know if it's a chicken or the egg thing. I don't know if it's because people who sort of are rugged individualists are they gravitate toward combat sports, individual sports. But in the UFC, if you look at college wrestling, it's kind of the one place where you find quite a few more conservatives outside of other sports. And Sweeney, well, turns out that she's spent a lot of time around Armenian male fighters.
So tell me about that. You're what, 13?
Yeah, I was like 12, 13, and I started kickboxing and grappling. And I trained at Gokor Hayastan with Sensei Jean LaBelle and Benny Leggett and Gokor. And I did that from 12, 13 years old until I was about 19. And then I booked Handmaid's Tale and Euphoria, and I was like, oh, I can't fight and film at the same time because I'd come home with bruises. So I put it to the side, but I always wanted to find a story that would be able to bring that side of myself out.
So she's in one.
Yeah. What do you think? You think that factors? Comment below. Chicken or the egg? Do you think that conservatives tend to gravitate towards those types of hobbies, or do you think it maybe transforms them a bit? Because with Zuckerberg,
all right, I actually pulled that up. Let's check out a little bit of this trailer.
That you fight in all pink.
I'm from West Virginia.
What's that got to do with pink?
Nothing, sir. I'm just telling you about myself.
Yeah, pink was my idea.
Oh my God, is that Malfoy? My God. Man, he went the way of Haley Joel Osment, didn't he? All right, I'm gonna have to keep pausing this because of the copyright music.
I think I found my thing. I bet most people go their entire lives and they don't even know what their thing is.
Is that Ethan Embry? Because he kind of looks like the girl who was interviewing. Actually, the girl who interviewed, do you remember like 10, 15 years ago, there was that guy who sang both parts of A Whole New World, the guy and the girl part? That's kind of what she looked like.
You the world champion right now. You think you...
Who is that playing Don King? My God. Malfoy, man, what happened?
What makes the world turn? But one day you're going to wake up and realize...
That's a high difference.
It turns just fine without you.
And I mean, look, in some of these sports, like when they first got started, especially, they did not have weight classes.
What are you doing sneaking around behind my back?
Sneaking around. Hey, Dad. I think I want to come home.
You want to lose your trainer, your career, all of it?
Honey, you are like family to me. I am worried about you.
Yeah, I might go see this. I'm gonna keep pausing just because I can't stand to see Malfoy like this.
What's that?
There's no Christy Martin without me.
I mean, she literally is.
I need help, Mama. He's angry at me all the time. Oh, Christy.
Beat him up. He's just a big old fat balding dude.
Crazy.
If you leave me, I'll kill you.
Do what you have to do.
She got a little pink pistol. I mean, it'll kill people just the same, but come on. Some girls go a little too hard with the pink everything. Looking at you, Blair.
Spent half my life hiding. It's my house.
Hold on, don't. Please don't be Malfoy. Please just be.
My things. It's my gym.
Oh, Ethan Embry. Just.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll give you that. That's not bad. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to I guess old Polo.
I will not be seeking re-election to Congress.
In honor of her nearly 40 years of public service, she did so at great cost to herself. She's a public servant.
Let's herself.
Yeah.
A public servant who's got like 500 times. Oh God, that guy who's only known for running the stock market. Was it Ted Nugent? Is it Ted Nugent? Is he the one? But she's got like 500 times his stock success, just with less capital. Like that is insane.
Let's pour out one of our 40s for this. Our homely homie, and put on our African scarves in honor. Well, it's time to close.
Which is funny because that's something that she did. And when she, and the African garb that she chose to wear was African slave holder garb. That was hilarious. That was when the pandering was at its peak.
Pelosi.
My
God. Gonna retire.
There has been no greater honor for me than to stand on the House floor and say, I speak for the people of San Francisco.
She got some focus on her.
That is why I want you, my fellow San Franciscans, to be the first to know. I will not be seeking re-election to Congress. With a grateful heart, I look forward to my final year of service as your proud representative.
Fine. So she's been in office since 1987, the year of my birth. Serving you, by the way. By the way, I think that...
that's older than me.
I think Kelsey right now, they still have the betting odds that she's like 7% likely to have the greatest returns of any member.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So still.
100%.
Still, look at that. By the way, you can actually mirror her portfolio. There's an app out there that does that, but
not for long.
Nope.
My buddy looking into David Reuser. Apparently, he's the guy to look at.
Yeah, I don't know
who he is.
I don't know why we don't have insider trading laws, but you know what? Lock him up. Hey, President Trump.
That's the thing. We do have insider trading laws. Awesome. We just don't apply them to our politicians who write them.
I'm glad she's retiring. I think she did the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country. I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible. Thank you very much.
I mean,
that's great because
love
you
him or
think
hate
he's
him.
gonna. It's like Gordon
If he's
Ramsay.
right, he's
You think
right.
He's going one way, and then he goes the other way.
Right.
You know, and he's like, she did a great service to this country by quitting.
Yeah, by quitting. Exactly.
She's been a tremendous liability. She's terrible.
You call this a souffle, you donkey. Also, by the way, Bernie Sanders chimed in.
Oh boy.
Bernie?
Get some rest, Nancy. You look tired.
The only good thing that Moby ever contributed.
That makes it look cool. I don't like it.
It kept going way longer than I thought it was.
I don't understand the point of that.
I was ready for the second movie.
Yeah, it's Friday.
He looks badass.
We don't need him. Yeah, he does look badass. Like I'm gonna jam this pen through your knuckle.
I'm gonna take down the 1% from the inside.
We're gonna get to Bernie. I can't stand him. So anyway, in honor of her nearly 40 years of public service, she did so at great cost to herself.
And again, I very much support term limits. I would say 8, 10 years for each House, Senate, and Congress, and then keep the presidency at 2 terms. Vice president, whatever. Just can't be vice president after you've been president for 2 terms. I would say that. But no one should be able to make it a career. You should not be able to spend 40 years in office. I mean, where do you think the corruption comes from? I can't believe that right now the people in the Senate are fighting as to whether or not Congress and the Senate should not get paid just like the rest of the federal workers during the shutdown. That's an argument. People are making this argument, and it's failing. It was put forth by Senator Kennedy, who is Republican, but I love him.
She's a public servant. Let's pour out one of our 40s for this our homely homie, and put on our African scarves in honor. Well, it's time to close. Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy, I'm on my way to Washington to proudly represent the people of San Francisco in Congress. I'm honored to do so, to share our San Francisco values. Thank you for giving me that honor.
That's an inherent contradiction.
Endings and beginnings are ending and beginning now.
Again, the African garb that some of them chose to sport. This isn't it. This is a different one.
To be clear, you're not taking any arrows out of your quiver. You're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can.
She was probably drunk or damn near dead.
Find out what is in it.
He is the worst president for children. There he is walking. The worst. The worst.
He's the worst for children.
Anybody. The worst thing.
Wait, hold on. I've never seen that one before.
The worst thing on face.
He waved and she says hi.
You think he's the worst?
Like he was there.
Yeah. In order to open these doors, we do not say. I do. Yeah. Anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face?
The worst thing on the face of the earth, but president for children. There he is walking. The worst. The worst president.
What the fuck?
Anybody. The worst thing on the face of the earth.
One more time. I'm sorry.
The worst. The worst president for anybody. The worst thing on the face of the earth.
Oh my God.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do.
I do. Hi.
In order to open these doors, we do not say open sesame. We say open Biden.
Time to
what does that even mean? What does it mean?
Are ending and beginning now.
The chair views the failure to wear a mask as a serious breach of decorum. But we do want to say to people, come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're again.
Yeah, she said that. So originally Trump said we should not go into certain places. We should not go out so much. And this is in February. And Nancy Pelosi said, go to Chinatown. Come on down to Chinatown, because it was racist to say it then. And then a few weeks later.
Careful, safe. Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
No, that is not a question of how they had, they don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them. This week we'll build. Next week, this is this week. You go to church on Sunday and pray on Sunday.
It is currently this week.
And pray on people the rest of the week. What is this? That's our magic word. Open Biden. I love it. We're gonna tear up the crown.
I don't know what that means.
Endings and beginnings are ending and beginning now.
From pregnancy related. Common, the Republican members got up and said, Nancy Pelosi thinks she knows more about having babies than the Pope. Yeah, that would be true.
So Nancy Pelosi.
Why do you have to read that?
Nobody said
followed
that.
his lead on protecting what the butterfly sanctuary and the knowledge that
butterfly
he has
cases.
Being a border
jumper
member of Congress.
Oh.
You don't know what you're talking
This is ridiculous.
I know that
Showing that she listens to the people.
time for things to close. I know that it's time for things to close.
Look at all that grandstanding. What the fuck? Damn, Nancy.
The two things we will miss. And her stock.
And her stock. Yeah, you made
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
know
money
she
on
had it
that.
like
You
that.
did.
40%.
Yeah, wow.
Insane.
And by the way, you can go back to 2008 or 2009. One of my first videos ever was me waterboarding Nancy Pelosi. But I had to play both myself and Nancy Pelosi because it was me in a blue bed sheet and not even a digital 8 camera, a high 8 camera. So that it's a little tidbit for you. You can go back and search.
Little tidbit.
Vagina.
Oh my God. Yeah. So anyway, take care of Nancy. I didn't know she had it like that, but yeah, she's been horrible. One of the many examples. Her, Mitch McConnell, Schumer, great examples of why people should only serve so long, and there should be, in fact, term limits in Congress and the House. But anyway, let's sidetrack for a little bit here.
Once upon a time, around the year 2003, there began a legend of bloody revenge.
I cannot wait. I will be in there day one. I will watch this at least once in theaters. Count on that. I saw both movies in theaters at least once. I believe I was working at the movie theater when they came out. They are amazing. I love Uma Thurman in this. She's perfect for it. Her and her feet, according to Quentin Tarantino. But these movies are masterpieces. And proof that no one gives a fuck if it's a male or a female lead, as long as the story is good or the movie kicks all the ass. And this does both. So, fuck off modern bullshit. Kill Bill's coming to theaters. And I hope it's a massive success like it was releasing for the first time. And you can see his love for Japanese cinema, anime, and hell, even Westerns in the second half.
That was the Mormon ground.
You and I have unfinished business.
Baby, you ain't kidding.
Oh my God. I can't believe he went out the way he did in real life.
That woman deserves her revenge. And we deserve to die.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? Yeah, I kind of did. Hi.
Sorry, I love these movies. I love most of Tarantino's movies, but this one particularly is the one I've watched the most. I've probably seen it at least 20 times.
Well, give me your details.
Especially the first one. I've seen the first one probably at least 10 times more than I've seen the second one. But the first one especially, my God. Lucy Liu, Vivica A. Fox, Uma Thurman in their primes, kicking all the ass. Hell the fuck yes.
I've killed a hell of a lot of people to get to this point.
Okay, sorry, I gotta stop it again there. I don't want to get copyright.
And when I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
Title drop.
This is what you get for fucking around with Yakuzas! Go home to your mother!
I love that part.
The other critique of.
All right. So that's Kill Bill. Get ready. It's coming out. What'd they say? Valentine's Day? Fuck yeah. Oh, we're going.
The Democrats is they have refused to recognize the severity of the crises that we face.
Right. Or refusing to recognize the question that you were asked. Like right now. All right. This one's fun.
Bernie, what happened to
We're
you,
going to actually
man?
now have to mine Bernie Sanders interviews just so we can use the stinger more. Everyone says that Bernie Sanders, this is the thing people go like, I disagree with him, but at least he's genuine.
I used to believe
what
that.
Part of a democratic socialist who has 3 homes.
That's what killed it for me.
And now he's exclusively going after billionaires because he's a multi-millionaire. What?
Yeah, and that's another thing that happens. You've heard this with who was it? It was Valkyrie or Pokimane who said "eat the rich," and someone next to her, and I adore this person. I hope to meet him someday. Said, "Aren't you the rich?" And she's like, "No, the uber rich, the billionaires, not the millionaires." I love how people who want to be millionaires will say the billionaires and the millionaires, and then when they become the millionaires, notice they drop saying millionaires and they only say billionaires after that. And then Bernie Sanders, when asked that very question, why did you stop saying millionaires? He's like, I mean, you could write a book. But no, we could. I mean, we could write a book, but we couldn't write a book that people would want to read. That's. I mean, you could, but just by having the name Bernie Sanders, it's gonna sell like crazy. Not as much as like a real writer, but it's Bernie Sanders, so his base, the Bernie Bros, the ones that are still there, will buy it.
Part of that person is genuine. Can you please tell me? And then combine it with whenever he's interviewed and asked on issues
you could write a book
that matter to Americans, he sidesteps and tries to go to some sort of populist messaging that has nothing to do with the actual question. I don't think he's genuine. I don't think he's a good person. I sat behind him on a plane. It's time for the Bernie sidestep.
Hey, what's this I see? I thought this was a party. Let's dance.
Oh my God.
Get enough of that. So he was on a podcast, and we'll have the links in the description so you can go watch the whole thing in context. He was asked about identity politics hurting the Democrats in 2024 and how it's been a losing issue. Specifically, hey, why so much focus on it? This would be a good opportunity if the Democrats actually at this point want to reach working class voters again. You do have to deal with what it is that you've created. You do have to deal with the issues on which the Democrat Party has turned off a huge portion of the voting American public. Instead of answering the question regarding trans people, Bernie yelled, here.
What was the most powerful ad that was run during the campaign? Kamala is for they, them, Trump is for you. Why did that resonate so much?
Oh, well, you're raising another question. I don't know. Maybe you know.
Yes, it's an interview. That's what typically happens.
The answer. How many people are trans in America? Do you know? What percentage?
It'll be less than a gay, and that's between 1% and 3%.
Yeah. A tiny number of people.
So why is so much attention?
I'll tell you why. Glad you asked that question.
Tell you why.
What do demagogues always do?
I'll tell you why.
That's right. All right. So here you have a country. We have massive income and wealth inequality. Mm-hmm. We have 60% of people struggling to put food on the table.
Mm-hmm. Including you, right?
Yeah.
That's what Democratic with a small
But that was not what was focused on.
I know. With a small d, Democratic politics is supposed to be about.
Don't say small d.
Matt, it doesn't need to be about what is it that Trump was focused on. This, to me, feels like an own goal. The focus was so much. This wasn't being made up out of nowhere by the Republican Party. This seemed to be things that were being said by the Dems, right. And the focus that was...
Right. Said by... Well... And the other critique of the Democrats is they have refused to recognize the severity of the crises that we face.
Right. Or refusing to recognize the question that you were asked, like right now. And this is what they do. They try and gaslight you. He goes, it's a tiny percentage. By the way, he literally uses the line from Santa Claus is Coming to Town where he goes, you better not pout, you better not cry. The kids go, why? I'm telling you why. I'll tell you why, you filthy son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He does like a Gilbert Gottfried version of Bernie Sanders. It's funny sometimes.
So about the working class. No, you don't get to do that. The left doesn't get to do this, where they will tell you, well, see, they're trying to other people. No, well, okay, let's go through this.
Both sides, other people. That's just a fact. Both sides, other people. They do it all the time. The party of tolerance doesn't really tolerate a whole lot. And it's actually kind of sad. Like, and this previous one is a good point. Sydney Sweeney, she literally didn't do anything except for being reasonably attractive, big tatas, and was in a jeans commercial that tried to use the two different spelling as jeans to kind of bend it into a double entendre. That's what this was.
Radically. They want you to believe
that's
that
what they
you
do.
Are to blame.
She's a white
for the
supremacist Nazi
LGBTQAIP
because of that
issue being front and center. Let's ask a couple of questions. Hey, historically, did we have men in women's bathrooms, women only spaces? Historically, did we have males in women's sports? No. Have we had males in women's sports recently? Have we had males actually competing for Olympic medals in women's sports? Have we had males setting female world records? Have we had males beating up on women sanctioned by governing bodies? Yeah.
Kinda.
Have we had males only in recent history taking female positions in the workplace? Have we had male women of the year? Why? Why? Because you pushed for it. You did. You don't get to blame people for responding when you have upended basically the basis for Western civilization, which is, the recognition of male-female gender roles. They push it. They push. And then when you respond and say, hey, this has gone too far, that's what they want. They want to blame other people when really the economy is struggling. Well, we can get to that also, which happened under your watch. But you don't get to blame people for responding when you were the ones who changed everything. I do. By the way, it didn't mention why Democrats focus so much on those issues. Hey, it was your party who supported sex changes for inmates. It was your party
that is true.
Who said that it was evil for parents to not affirm a child's gender transition. It was your vice presidential candidate who turned his state into a sanctuary state where children can be hidden from their parents if they don't give them puberty blockers or affirm their false gender.
That also happened, yes.
Don't let them gaslight you.
Yeah,
Keep your foot on the gas.
Don't gas me.
Should have been excited for the question, considering it's a big opportunity for him to plug his new movie, The Bernie Identity. Yeah,
Oh my God, why?
He's doing it again.
Stop it, Stephen.
It's just fun. So,
Steven.
also, by the way, the easiest way to stay in touch is download the Rumble app. Follow me there, because people like Bernie, who also, by the way, were huge advocates of big tech censoring, deplatforming conservatives. You follow me on the Rumble app. Download it. You never lose touch. We are live weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. You let me know if you think that Bernie Sanders is genuine and you just have a disagreement of opinion on policy. I think he's full of it. I think he's disingenuous. I've focused on him since 2015 because I very much dislike him. This has been the Bernie Sidestep.
Hey, what's this I see?
Okay. So, and that wasn't that much of a big story. I just saw something about Bernie. But he very much has. He's not the same person he used to be. He's full on pushing communism. Not even socialism anymore, communism, and people like Zoran Mondani. And I don't know. Communism never used to scare me. I used to be all for it. And it doesn't scare me as a principle, because like capitalism or any ism, really, it all depends on who's pushing it and what's done with it. And capitalism is the better process right now, so long as the government tempts it ever so slightly so that it can't be overly utilized by the wealthy to shut out all the rest of us. As long as they don't shut us out, that's all I care about. I don't want to restrict them. Like, I don't care if Elon Musk gets this $1 trillion from Tesla. I hope he does. And I hope he does great things with it, both for humanity now and humanity in the future. I think as far as billionaires go, he's the best chance of any of that happening. But as far as everything else goes, dumping millions and millions of gallons a year of jet fuel to go from climate change summit to climate change summit. Everyone from Bernie Sanders, AOC, Leonardo DiCaprio, and all these other people who say that you should drive less and own less cattle. Again, I understand that the only reason the cows still survive to this day, and chickens, is because they're delicious. Again, that's just fact. But even Bill Gates has admitted that we should focus on other things. Because if you really think about it, the Earth will be fine. It's the future generations that won't be fine. And if you fuck up the world right now with your climate change stuff, right now, you will fuck up the future for those kids that you claim to care so much about. Because again, the Earth will be fine. It will cleanse itself of us humans if we get too rowdy. Should we do better? Yes, of course. But cutting off all fossil fuels without making sure that we have an actual substitute. And I do not deem slave labor to strip lithium mines, which, by the way, are more hazardous to get rid of than anything fossil fuel could ever hope to make as a byproduct. Plus, the way we get it, again, slave labor, instead of just hardworking guys that get paid lots of money in places like Texas. It's ridiculous. The pipeline in America should be open and remain open. We should make a nice deal with the Canadians. And we should make sure that Europe stops getting all of its fossil fuels from Russia. Why that was ever a thing, and then they want us to bail out Ukraine when they have been flooding Russia with all of the money they ever needed to wage any kind of war against any country in the Eastern Europe that they wanted back. But that's all I'm going to say about all that today. I could go on for ages about how the Western world and the left side of the Western world, it specifically, is a bunch of hypocrites. I could say it about the right too, but let's be honest. The left does that for everybody. I don't like the right either. I think that if we pull the pendulum back on the left so far, eventually we will lose the grip. We will. And that time is coming very quickly. And if you keep doubling down on all these issues that have been proven unpopular by the American people as a whole, and you keep making up excuses as to why, and the most recent one when Trump was elected was even more ridiculous than any other. This election had more people voting than ever before. And because he didn't get 50% of the population, because some blue states left JFK or RFK Jr. on the ballot as a way to siphon off votes to people who don't pay enough attention, Trump would have had well over 50 and would have had his mandate hands down. It's just a fact. It is. I mean, we can't prove it, but we all know it's true. But the left will lose its grip on the mainstream, and the right will pick it right back up. And I only hope to God that the left's heinous use of their media power over the last 10 years specifically, but 15 to 20 years beyond that actually, doesn't come back to bite them in the ass and make them correct about any kind of weird Handmaid's Tale, V for Vendetta shit. The world's pretty much already a V for Vendetta. It's getting there. Right now it's the left. But again, if they lose the grip on the pendulum, with all the laws that they've written, thinking they were going to stay in power, and look what's happening now already. Remember when the Republicans were so pissed off about the left wanting to drop the filibuster? Now who's using the filibuster? And now who wants to drop the filibuster? If you guessed it flipped, congratulations. You're a fucking genius. But I've only been saying this forever. People in power speak very differently from people who don't have power. But we all know what you really want. And that's having the power. But that being said, we're going to cut it off there, guys. I appreciate it. I've been on here yammering for 80 minutes. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to get something to eat. And I'm going to play some Ghost of Tsushima. I'll be streaming that over here on all these places, including Twitch. But yeah, guys, follow me on Rumble if you like what you heard. If you didn't like what you heard, just tell me what a piece of shit I am in the comments. Please. I very much enjoy it. Just don't use any horrible slurs. Because I don't want to get the YouTube Eye of Sauron coming at me. But that being said, you guys have a great day. Have a great rest of your weekend. And we will see you